Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. This is Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Clayton. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Sports Talk. And you want to do that, and you want to hit that notification bell as well to see when I come out ASAP, because I got a lot of good things going on. This is our Super Bowl preview with the Los Angeles Rams, winners of the NFC, which is the National Football Conference. And then they face against the New England Patriots, one of the AFC, the American Football Conference. These two teams will collide at Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, and the winner will be crowned Super Bowl champion. We are excited for that. Everyone knows I'm a huge New Orleans Saints fan, and I do apologize for not being on YouTube for the last couple weeks because life hits you, man. You got jobs and you got the family to take care of as well, so a lot of things happen, and people are all wondering, what is Carlos gonna say about what happened to the Saints? And yes, I have a lot to say, but if you want to know what I gotta say, check out my new podcast that I have on the Anchor app. Yes, right, the Anchor app. Download that app and I will have a new podcast on that. And of course, I will still bring it to Facebook, and I'll try to put it on Twitter, that kind of stuff as well. But my podcast, the Uneducated Sports Talk podcast, it'll be on the Anchor app. So download that app and you'll hear me talk about what happened to the Saints and talk about the Super Bowl in depth and all those good things. We'll talk NBA talk, all that. So just be ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. But we are talking about the Super Bowl, the New England Patriots versus the Los Angeles Rams. Before I get into who I got winning, let's just break the game down as a whole. The Los Angeles Rams, we know, defeated the New Orleans Saints in controversial fashion. And then we have the New England Patriots, who kind of beat the Chiefs in a little controversy as well. But nonetheless, these two teams deserve to be in the Super Bowl, period. I feel bad for the Chiefs, and I for damn sure feel bad for the Saints. But at the end of the day, these two teams are still good representatives for the Super Bowl. And it's going to be a really good one, in my opinion. Let's just break it down. Let's talk about Tom Brady. This right here, another victory, just further cements his legacy as the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Here's my thing. Tom Brady, he can't throw a ball 70 yards deep in the air like Patrick Mahomes. He won't ever throw 75, 76% in a season like Drew Brees. But one thing the man is, he is the smartest quarterback of all time. He literally takes what you give him. You want to give him 5, 6 yards, he'll take it he is the most patient quarterback, which is the most smartest quarterback. And those two things combined with equal success every single time. He doesn't mind being called the check down king. See, there was a point in time where I was always giving an excuse for Brady. I was like, you know what? Those first 3 Super Bowls he won, it wasn't really him, it was the defense, which is sort of true. Then you had the Spygate, and then you had the Flakegate, and then you had, all these issues. And yards, well, he's got a great defense with him, all these years. And then obviously when he had the offenses with him, the Giants were just destined, that kind of stuff. I always had an excuse. But then, this is a few years ago, but now I'm older, I'm more mature, and I'm like, Tom Brady's good. And Tom Brady's the best quarterback I've ever seen. And I've always got to give it some. You give them flat because of the Patriots. But at the same time, they are what you call the model of success. Everything that Bill Belichick / Tom Brady / Robert Kraft / the whole entire Patriots organization is the model of success. That's why guys go there for a 1 or 2 year rental basis, because they know that, well, we're going to have a chance to win a Super Bowl. You don't want to be in that model for too long, but you want just enough to get you something. Like the Chris Longs of all people. Chris Long goes there to New England. He got a Super Bowl, but he was like, I just don't like the way he ran. It's just too, it's too robotic-y. That's a word. I'm going to, let me get my Super Bowl and let me get out of here. That's what guys do. Well, the Patriots model of success has been happening for almost 2 decades now, since Tom Brady has been there. It's not really Bill Belichick. Before Tom Brady, Bill Belichick was a ho-hum, coach. He wasn't all that. Let's just be honest. With Tom Brady there, everything changed. Everything. Thanks, Drew Bledsoe. We appreciate it. But no, Tom Brady is the GOAT. The man just doesn't fold under pressure. And if you get the man a little time, he isn't even fast. He's not Michael Vick fast. He doesn't have the big arm like Pat Mahomes. He doesn't have the quote-unquote, accurate passes like Drew Brees. But the man is on. He's the smartest quarterback in NFL history. And like I said, he's the most patient quarterback. he will not get rattled over anything. And that's why Tom Brady is just, he's the GOAT when it comes down to quarterback. But is he going to be enough against this revamped Los Angeles Rams defense? It's not a coincidence since Akeem Talib came back that these guys are just like, they're looking, rough now when it comes, rough in a good way. These guys are roughing everybody up. You knew about Aaron Donald. And just what happened to Dominican Sue finally wants to play football. Finally live up to the contract he got. That defense is looking very good again. Now you got Marcus Peters and Akeem Talib on opposite sides of the field playing really good coverage on the back. The Joyner and their safeties are playing excellent as well. I mean, yes, they had to they had to struggle for a second, but now Akeem Talib, who's a veteran and who's been there, who's done that. These guys are going to put pressure on Tom Brady. And when I say these guys, this guy, Aaron Donald, is the only guy I've ever seen outside of Reggie White who can be doubled and triple teamed and still have a chance to make an impact on your quarterback. I've just never seen a guy that, one, he's that fast. Two, he is that strong. But when you see him that fast, you're almost like, did the blocker even try to block? No. Aaron Donald was just that gifted. He's just that fast. He is just that beast of a person. He has high considerations for myself to be MVP from the defensive side. We haven't had that in a long, long, long time. But I think Aaron Donald is that good. This year he could be the NFL MVP. Will it happen? No, pretty sure it's going to Pat Mahomes. And well-deserved as well. But Aaron Donald, that guy is disruptive. And I've never seen a one-man army. Oh, by the way, you leave Ndamukong Suh one-on-one with a lot of guys in the last two games, playoff games. He has proven why he is worth what he's worth as well. If that Suh would have came out, these guys would probably been undefeated the whole entire year. What happened to that team that just couldn't stop the run? Well, it's not a coincidence as well that New England, the last couple weeks, the running game, not only James White in the pass game, the short pass game, but Sonny Michel in the run game. Those two guys have been the biggest difference. And we don't give enough credit to that Patriots offensive line. 2 playoff games the Patriots have played, Tom Brady has been hit. He's dropped back more than 60 times already. He's been hit once. That is not a lie. It's not an understatement. It's not just making a guess. He's been hit one time in 2 playoff games. So we don't give enough credit to the offensive line for New England. So can that O-line stop the beast Aaron Donald, or can stop the second beast Ndamukong Suh? That's going to be where you're going to win and lose this game. Now, that's obvious. That's the whole entire NFL. Whoever wins in the trenches is going to win. But this game signifies who is going to win in the trenches. Oh, and by the way, third down, we had the Rams, who've been the best third down defensive team in the playoffs, against the Patriots, who've been the best third down offensive team in the playoffs. That's cute. That's huge as well. That's going to be key for both squads. Who can get off the field and who can stay on the field? It's the Rams. Third and long. Because we saw the Patriots eat up the Chiefs all day on third and long. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 9. 3rd and 10. 3rd and 11. And Tom Brady was killing them every single time. Can the Rams stop that? Both teams have 2 weeks to prepare for this game. That's a lot of footage, a lot of tape you are going to see. Now, last year, for the defense, it seemed like it did not help. Because the Patriots and the Eagles, they were scoring point after point. It just didn't work out, I guess. This year, these guys are going to come in. I think this is going to be a defensive battle game. Just like when I said the Rams and the Saints will be a defensive battle game. If you saw on my Facebook, I talked about that game. I said, this game is going to be a defensive battle game. And I had it in the 20s. Now, I get a feeling we're going to have that same type of game this year. Because the Rams aren't as potent of an offense as most people think. Because they went through a stretch, just like the Saints did. They went through a stretch, about a 4 or 5 game stretch, where they really couldn't score a lot, or people kind of figured it out. The good thing with them is, and the Patriots, it's ironic, the last couple weeks of the season, of the regular season, they got to face mediocre teams. And that helps you prepare. And no matter how mediocre, they're still in the NFL. If you can get some kind of offensive grind going on, and yes, the Patriots played the Bills and the Jets, and then the Rams played the Cardinals and the 49ers. those games help you. I don't care who you are. If you're in a regular season and you don't have your offense or your defense fine-tuned, it's like play against a crappy team. The Cardinals and the 49ers, and then you have the Jets and the Bills. Those teams will help you get back on track. And just like that, they did. And just like that, these guys are rolling in the playoffs when it comes down to efficiency on offense, X's and O's, their sharpness, and it got them to propel them to where they're at now. So I do believe that the regular season always helps out for the playoffs. But the Rams offense, C.J. Anderson has come in here and he has been a major factor for the Rams. And they needed it. They really did. Todd Gurley, he is not hurt. In that Saints game, he did not play a lot. Now, in my opinion, I think it was a coach's decision to sit him out. In my opinion. I think he just wasn't playing well. He had a few drops. I don't think that he had a knee issue. It was just them acting like he had a knee issue. I think Sean McVay really said, no, C.J. Anderson's got it going on right now. He's fitting what we had to do to win this game. And at the end of the day, it worked out for them. Now, Todd Gurley is back, and I think Todd Gurley will be a major factor in this game against the Patriots. But they got to get them going early, because if they find themselves in a 7-0 or a 13-0 game against the Patriots squad, that is a whole different animal against that the Saints squad. Now, 13-0 against the Patriots, Tom Brady's going to keep scoring. They're up 13-0, 14-0, 17-0. You're not coming back from that. So Todd Gurley has got to go early in this game. He's got to be on his horse. I think that, I really hope he makes an impact, but I don't see it happen. I really don't see Todd Gurley making an impact. I see C.J. Anderson, the guy that was cut by 5 teams in 5 weeks pretty much. I see that guy who's about as big as a house looking like Natron Means. I see C.J. Anderson being the key for the Rams if they can win this game. He will be the key because his running style, he's a bruiser. He's a bruiser. And he's a guy that you can trust. And even in the passing game, Todd Gurley has not been that guy over the last month and a half. He just hasn't been that guy you can really trust on the field. And that's funny because he's been in the MVP race the last 2 years. So, a touchdown machine. But in this particular game, I think it'd be nice for Todd Gurley to get out there, but they're really going to rely on C.J. Anderson. He's going to be the key for them winning this game if they can win this game. So, Patriots defense, we know about what they do as well. They always stop your top guy. Well, guess what? Their top guy on offense. Can you really say Todd Gurley? No. We talk about weapons. You talk about wide receivers. They're going to stop Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks will probably play one-on-one against Stephon Gilmore, and then they'll probably double-team Robert Woods, or vice versa. Because Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods, say what you want, they're kind of the same person. They kind of run the same plays, run the same style, a lot of reverses with them. So one or the other are getting double-teamed, whether it's Cooks or Woods. And whoever's being singled is going to be with Stephon Gilmore. And I think that the Patriots will run that like they've always done. They've always taken out your best option or two and make you work for it. So Todd Gurley is going to probably see a lot of one-on-one coverage. Or, there's going to be chances to run the ball in this game. There's always chances to run the ball against the Patriots. A lot of teams just can't run the ball because you find yourself down 14-0, or you realize, we're going to be in a battle of points. It forces you to throw the ball. And I think the Patriots defense with Bill Belichick and his staff, they always find a way, except for last year in the Super Bowl. I just don't know what happened over there. But outside of that, they're not benching Malcolm Butler sign. Let's hope that Sunday morning we don't see Stephon Gilmore being benched, that kind of stuff. That was kind of head scratching. But nonetheless, this is going to be a fantastic game. The coaches, you have the young bright guy, Sean McVay, against Bill Belichick, the old school guy, the guy who's been there, done that. But Sean McVay is now this new upcoming kid. He's pretty much a kid. He's just a couple years older than me. I'm 30. I believe he just turned 33, something like that. So this guy has he is, woo. Yo, he's good. He's good. And I like it because he's feisty and nothing folds him. And even when they lost to the Saints in the regular season, he was like, we'll be back. I can't wait to play this. That he's always positive. Say what you want about how he mows Jared Goff, but hey, if it works, it works. I don't care. Jared Goff, by the way, made huge plays against the Saints in that fourth quarter. So he's not just a guy that's just a toy or a puppet for Sean McVay to play with. Jared Goff was the #1 pick a couple years ago for a reason. The guy has talent, and the guy has proven it over the last 2 years that he has that type of talent. Thanks, Jeff Fisher. God, horrible coach, man. But all I'm saying is Sean McVay versus Bill Belichick is going to be a great matchup. Sean McVay, he is the bright genius of offense. Bill Belichick, the guru of defense. They're going to clash once again. Last week we had Andy Reid against Bill Belichick, two of the greatest coaches. People want to say that Andy Reid is an offensive coordinator who needs to stick to that. No, he's a great coach. He just had bad luck. He's been in the Super Bowl and he's been in conference championships year after year, so he's not a bad coach. Stop that. He's a really good coach. But you have those two, and then you have Sean McVay versus Sean Payton, the battle of the offensive geniuses, and that was a great matchup to see as well. But I have a feeling that it's going to come down to the trenches, the O-line versus the D-line. Who can win that battle? We all know if Tom Brady gets touched or gets beat up in the game, the Patriots usually lose that game. If Tom Brady is not touched, outside of that Philadelphia Super Bowl last year, if Tom Brady is not touched, they're going to win the game 9 times out of 10. That one was against the Eagles last year. Tom Brady wasn't touching that game at all. They still lost. So, if the Rams can get to the Patriots, they can win this game. But if the Rams cannot get to the Patriots, if you can kind of subdue Donald, hold him back, let him not be a force. If Tom Brady can get that ball out quick like he usually does, he is very quick at getting that ball out. He's going to eat you up every single time. Now, every Super Bowl the Patriots have participated in, it's been a close game. They've won every game by 6 points or less in every Super Bowl they have been in. I believe this will be number 9 he's been in. He's 5-3 in Super Bowl. We're talking about Tom Brady and the Patriots. Everyone he's been in, it's been either a 3-point game or a 6-point game a couple years ago when they beat the Falcons in overtime. This is going to be a close game. Again, another close game. And I'm of the reason that that it's going to be close because both teams defensively and offensively are sharp right now. Right now, at this very moment, they are both two sharp teams. And it should be a good Super Bowl. And although I feel horrible for my Saints and I feel like things should have been different, at the end of the day, I'm still going to watch the game because I'm a football head before. The reason why I'm a Saints fan is because I'm an NFL fan. Now NFL has a lot of explaining to do, but we'll talk about that later on. It's still going to be a good game. Very entertaining. So, with my picks, and I've been pretty okay with my picks, although I went over 2 for the conferences, but I had the scores right, but it was just vice versa. Like, literally, it was close. I just had them vice versa. So I know both of those games will be close, and this game's going to be close as well. It's the Super Bowl. It's the Patriots. They're always close against the NFC counterpartners. As a rematch, 2001, their first Super Bowl, where it all started at for a dynasty run for New England, Tom Brady, and Bill Belichick. My pick, I'm going to go with the New England Patriots defeating the Los Angeles Rams by a score of 33-30. You heard it right here from Uneducated Sports Talk. 33-30, the New England Patriots will beat the Los Angeles Rams in a very good, entertaining game. I'm going to love it. So if you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl? Is it the New England Patriots or is it the Los Angeles Rams? Let me know down in the comments. I'm interested to hear what you guys got to say. So please check me out on Facebook. My name is Carlos Clayton. Check me out on I'm getting my podcast, the Anchor Podcast. The Anchor Podcast. Get the app, the Anchor app, to where you can hear my podcast, Uneducated Sports Talk. Please do that and like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to see what I got to say. Our next talk, we will break down the New England Patriots and the Rams Super Bowl. We got some Anthony Davis talk going on. Basketball is getting ramped up now. This is about the time of the year where we all get to looking at basketball and NBA. So I'm excited for that. So please like and subscribe to Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. As always, sports fans, you guys know what time it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace. Super Bowl 53, I believe, is on the way. We'll break all that down next episode. Love you guys.